right now live, and I think that it's gonna show me in a minute how many people are coming in. So just give me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it should show you on the upper left-hand corner. It says live, and it shows you the time of how long you've been in live.
Yep.
And right next to it should be a number, like an I symbol.
Nothing. No number. Nobody wants to see me.
Yeah, so we got one right now. That's good. We got one guy.
I can't see that number regardless.
Okay. Yeah, so we got one right now, and two coming in, so it's good.
Perfect.
Yep. We got 2 people coming in.
Awesome. How many people should we wait to come in before I commence?
It's up to you, man. This is your your thing. You let me know. Now we got 6, so people are coming in. They're definitely coming in.
For those who can listen right now, we're just going to wait for a couple more people to get on, and then we're going to go. We're going to start. I promise you, I'm not gonna make this boring. I'll make it worth your time.
We have about 10 already, so.
12. All right. So we start. What's the average of viewers on everybody else's? Just want to make sure that I'm giving everybody an opportunity to jump on.
Mike, did you see on the box on the right-hand side, there should be comments? Those are where the people will be sending in chats and texts.
Yeah. I see that.
Okay. We have 16. We have like 16 people in, so.
All right, so we should start. What's going on, guys? I'm super excited to be on this event. I'm honored. Thank you very much, Nick Tang and his entire organization for getting me on. He knows very much that I love to speak, so any opportunity for me to be in front of a camera or in front of anybody, I obviously treasure it as much as possible. So today, my topic is going to be working with realtors to get deals and making a killing wholesaling. Okay, and we're going to explain that definition and what it means in a little bit. So we're gonna dive deep into it. I promise you, I want to make it fun. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I know sometimes it's a Saturday and it's beautiful out there, especially if you're in New Jersey. The weather's great. So if I'm boring you, shoot a comment saying, Mike, you suck. So let's get on. So working with realtors to get deals and making a killing wholesaling, this is something I wholeheartedly believe in. I think a lot of you should, and I'm going to explain to you why in a moment. So you probably are wondering who I am. My name is Michael Gomes. I've been in the real estate business, believe it or not, for about 17 years. I've been in real estate since 2003. When I was about 24 years old, I knew from the time I was 18 years old that I was going to do something in the capacity of real estate, whether it was going to be an agent, loan officer, or an investor. I didn't quite know exactly what facet, but I knew I was going to do real estate since the age of 18. I read, not to get political, but I did read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump, and I got fascinated not by the author, but by the world of real estate. My father was a contractor and still is a contractor. And I just loved what he used to do to properties, what the property used to look like, and what the finished product was. And I said to myself, I'm going to get into real estate. And that was without learning passive income and everything else that real estate can bring to you to change your life. And I'm here to tell you that real estate has changed my life drastically. I'll never retire. I'll always be doing real estate, even later on in life. I don't care if I'm 90 years old on a walker at a senior citizens living facility, I'll still be doing real estate. So my name is Michael Gomes. Like I told you, 17 years in the business, over 750 transactions of real estate, not just as a real estate agent, but as a loan officer, as a fix and flipper and investor. I started in the business 2003 as an actual mortgage loan officer. I did that for a couple of years, up until the mortgage crash of 2007 and 2008. I got out of the mortgage business about a year after that. The entire business changed for loan officers. Our compensations were a lot less, loan amounts were a lot less, so I was working 4 times as much to produce the same amount of income from a year before. And I said, you know what, I want to get out of it. My true passion was actually fixing and flipping. Got into that 2009, 2010, when everybody told me I was absolutely crazy because the market was not good, this, that, and the other. Just remember, it doesn't matter what market we're in, there's always an opportunity. So I got into fix and flipping. I still remember my first flip in 2010. I was flipping two-family homes. So I was purchasing two families somewhere between 75,000 to about 125,000, mostly two-family homes in the Union County area. I started off in Linden, New Jersey. I bought one, hired my father to fix the entire property, flipped it, bought another one, flipped it, bought another one, flipped it, then started getting into single family residential and started flipping that. And, years later, here I am still doing it. I'm still flipping single family homes just because the demand is extremely high. And if you guys know what's going on in the market right now, it's insane. The demand for single family homes in New Jersey, especially in the suburbs of New Jersey, no matter where you're at, I don't care if you're in Millstone or in Berkeley Heights or in Summit, it's just absolutely insane. Like I said, I've been in the business since 2003. I saw the market in 2005 the way it was, which was insanity. This market is beating that market for many, many reasons. The demand, the offers, etc. The low interest rates. Interest rates are somewhere between 2.5 to 2.75. I did loans, like I told you. I never saw interest rates that low. It's just insanity. Insanity how much more buying power you have from 3.5 to 2.5. I also became a full-time real estate agent. I bounced around from a couple companies. I landed in at Signature Realty about 3 years ago. That's when I became a full-time realtor as well as a full-time investor. Fast forward to today, I'm their top producer. I did over 40 transactions, over 40 units last year as a real estate agent. I have built homes. I have fixed and flipped over 70 properties in the last 8-9 years. I have a couple of units, not as many as I would like for passive income, but I do own a few multifamily houses, and I'm in a process right now, actually under contract on a 14 unit in upstate New York because New Jersey is too expensive, and I look at cost per unit. So I went to New York, found something in Binghamton, New York, and I'm now currently under contract at an average of $27,000 per unit. So you do the math, 14 units times 27,000, and you'll figure that out. But I'm excited to be in front of you guys, and hopefully you guys learn something from me. So as you guys know, working with realtors to get deals and making a killing wholesaling. Why should you use a real estate agent like myself? A lot of investors, like especially newbies, they're like, I don't want to work with a real estate agent. I don't want to work with a real estate agent. It is important to work with a real estate agent, and an investor-friendly real estate agent like myself, who has an extensive background in flipping homes, in wholesaling, in wholetailing, because I wear the same hat as you, along with other hats. So I know exactly what you need, what you're looking for, right? What you need to be successful as a fix and flipper, as a real estate investor. At the end of the day, it's all about your ROI, your return on your investment. It's about profitability. And that is why working with a real estate agent is going to be very crucial in order for you to become successful. And many fix and flippers and real estate investors out there that have been successful without using a real estate agent all the time, but they'll tell you, and they would be lying to you, that a real estate agent, a good one, is not crucial in their success, because they are. Realtors are your friends for life. So if you treat your real estate agent good, that real estate agent is going to treat you better. Reciprocity is very important, right? And I'll explain to you why. If you get a deal from a real estate agent and you give that deal back once you have a finished product, that real estate agent will always be incentivized to feed you. Just remember, real estate agents are bootstrapped. They're out there on the street all the time. They're talking to neighbors. They're talking to homeowners. They're talking to people who are losing their homes. So they are in a position, somebody like me, we're in a position to be able to feed you inventory. And what's better than inventory, especially in a market like today where we're lacking inventory? Inventory is your friend. And we have an extreme amount of a lack of supply right now in this current market, right? That's why the market has been going up along with other reasons that I mentioned before. But a real estate agent is going to provide you that. Now, remember what I told you, you got to work with an investor-friendly agent like myself. Forget about thinking that they're going to compete with you. I don't want to fix and flip every deal that I get in my, on my plate or on my desk. I don't, because I'm tired of some contractors. I am. And I don't do certain areas. I'm not going to travel 30 minutes or 45 minutes for a project. I only do 1 or 2 towns, and that's it. I'm satisfied. Anything that's in another town that I don't do business, I'm going to call you and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to say, hey, John, hey, David, hey, Donnell, look, I have a single family home for X amount of dollars and ARVs, et cetera, right? I'm going to give it to you because I don't want to take the time to do it. I'm busy being a real estate agent as well. And I don't want to take time away from that. I'm also busy being a full-time father. I'm a father of 2 kids. So real estate agents aren't going to try to gobble up every deal, or at least not the real estate agents who are also real estate investors as well. Help you find profitable properties. And this is why you have to work with somebody like myself. We're not going to waste your time. So when I call you on the phone, pick it up, right? Because if I'm giving you a deal, I've already ran through the numbers. I already did the ROI for you. I have a pulse on the market. I already did the ARV. I already walked through a scope of work. So let me give you an example. I'm talking to a neighbor. They tell me that they want to sell their home. They're like, Mike, I don't want to put it in the open market. I want to sell this to a builder. I want to sell this to an investor. Do you have anybody in mind? Absolutely. Let me walk through your home. So I'll walk through their property. I'll see what needs to be done already, right? Okay, needs to be painted, needs hardwood floors. We want to take away the wall from the kitchen in the living room. We want to give it that open concept, right? I'm going to walk through the house. I'm going to do my own scope of work. So when I call you, I'm going to say, look, I have a good opportunity for you. Owner wants $250,000. House needs about $100,000. The ARV, the after repair value, is somewhere between $450,000 and $500,000. I've already done the homework for you. I've already done the analysis for you. I've done everything you need to know in order for you to determine whether or not you should be purchasing this property, right? Because ARV, right, is the most important number for you as an investor. Basically, your decision on buying a property is basically predicated on the after repair value. So why not work with a real estate agent who is going to give you all that information? Someone who's already flipped properties, has experience in the same world, who wears the same hat as you, to be able to work with you. That's the type of person you want as a partner. And that's what you have to, when I say partner, that's exactly what I look at other investors like myself that I do work with. We are partners. I might be the real estate agent. I'm working in that capacity, and you might be the investor. But at the end of the day, that's what we are. We have a partnership. I trust you. You trust me, right? You trust me to make the analysis, to do the analysis, to make the determination of whether or not you should buy the property. And of course, you're going to do your own due diligence. But you know that when I make that phone call, that it's important for you to answer. It's important for you to take the deal serious, because I know there's a lot of real estate agents out there, and not to, I don't want to talk bad about my industry. And there's a lot of wholesalers out there, right? A lot of wholesalers. I go through a lot of wholesalers all the time. Maybe 1% of wholesalers in this industry know exactly what they're talking about. How many of you, right? And just shoot me a thumbs up on the comments. How many of you have gotten a deal from a wholesaler and they tell you it's the best deal in the world, and once you do the numbers, it absolutely makes absolutely no sense for you to purchase that property? How many of you? I get deals like that from wholesalers every day on my desk. Property for sale for $250, only needs $30,000 worth of work. Here are the comps, $400. And then when you do the numbers, it needs like $100,000 worth of work. The comps aren't $400, they're like $350, and it makes no sense, right? So that's why you have to be very careful who you work with. You have to choose your real estate agent wisely, okay? Pick someone. It doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody in the industry that has the same sort of experience as I do. Someone who's gonna pull up their sleeves and they're gonna get to work with you. Someone who does their homework, someone who comes out and says, hey, look, the ARV is somewhere between 375 and 400, and you can take that number right to the bank. right? And that's why it's important to work with a real estate agent for the most part. Also, the ability to give you more access to inventory, right? Most of you guys are not licensed real estate agents, so you don't have the MLS. So here's one of the things that a lot of real estate agents, well, good ones do. They go to the MLS and they see properties that have been listed for almost a year. They contact that owner right around the expiration time. They call up the owner and they say, hey, look, I see that you have a property for sale. It's been on the market for over a year. I noticed that you tried to sell it also 2 years ago. You haven't been successful. Are you really motivated to sell this property? And if they tell me yes, right, I'm going to make an appointment. I'm going to go to the property, and I'm only going to go to properties that I think that are a little bit distressed, that might be good inventory for guys like you, for people like you. Because why, right? You want to build appreciation. You want to be able to provide value. So when talking to that seller, I'm going to let the seller know, look, this is a perfect home for an investor. The retail client is not going to buy it. Obviously, you already know it. You've had the house on the market for 2 years. No one has bought it. It's going to be tough to finance this. Let me bring in 3 or 4 investors in here that'll purchase this property cash as is. You could leave everything behind, right? They'll move you within 14 days. They'll close within 14 days. If you need more time, they're flexible, et cetera, et cetera. So now what am I doing? I'm creating inventory for you. So that's another reason why you should be working with the real estate agent, because of inventory, right? Also, lean on the real estate agent for advice on what material trend to follow. What does that mean? You're probably saying, I don't know what that means, right? So I look at 100 homes a week, literally. I show 100 properties a week. I go on 100 listing appointments a week, literally, all right? I know what buyers want in a home. Can we say that buyers today are different from buyers from 10 years ago? Of course, right? Buyers today want white kitchen, open concept from kitchen to the living room or kitchen to the dining room. They want neutral colors like that light gray. They're even getting hardwood floors in a lighter color, right? Lean on the real estate agent to tell you, hey, look, last project, it went well, but I think you should do something different with this property. I think you should open it up. I think you shouldn't use dark colors like you did last time, right? I think you should do a double vanity on the master bathroom. I think you should do a stand-up shower with a free soaking tub. Whatever the case may be. I think you should do a light gray or a white siding outside. That's what buyers want right now. In New Jersey, for example, we're getting an influx of people that are leaving Jersey City and all of these densely populated areas. They're leaving New York. They are used to different architectural style. And as an investor, you have to make sure that you cater to that preference. So lean on your real estate agent to tell you that, what are the new trends? Like if you go into a higher market or luxury market, siding is not going to cut it. Nobody wants to buy $1 million home in Westfield that has 4-inch siding. They want hardy plank, right? That's what they want. They want, they don't want the super corners. They want the ASEX trim, which is the wood board. That's what they want, right? They want crown moldings in a house all throughout. They want beautiful trim work. So you have to lean on real estate agents. I've seen a lot of investors like yourself make that mistake where they come in and they make a property look very cookie cutterish, and it doesn't sell on the market because they forgot who their targeted buyer was or is. So it's important to lean on your real estate agent. Think of me as your interior designer, which I'm not, but think of me as your interior designer, right? I want you to think of me just like that. Hey, Mike, what should I do here? Call me up in every phase, right? Hey, Mike, look, we're ready to do the hardwood floors. I need you to come in and take a look at the floor. Should we do any color? Sometimes I'll tell you, look, don't do a color, right? Let's pre-sell it. Let's market it to people. Let them choose the color. Sometimes buyers just want to be involved. They'll be happy if they just chose the color of the floors, or they chose the color of the countertop, or they chose the color of the living room and the dining room, right? Whatever the case may be, right? So lean on us for that. Let's get into what is wholesaling and why it's important. 2 years ago, I told one of my mentors, Jonathan Steingraber, who's a huge fix and flipper. Many of you probably know who John Steingraber is. He was a national speaker at Fortune Builders. He's the CEO of Signature Realty, which is the brokerage I work out of right now. That's the SR you see on my slide. Very important. I told him 2 years ago, wholesaling is going to be something extremely important, especially when the markets are going up. Right now, As an investor, you're paying anywhere between 5 to 10% more for the same property you bought a year ago or 2 years ago, right? That's natural. Markets have gone up, so you're going to pay more money. And obviously you're going to sell it for more money. But also, just keep in mind, if you had a bad taste with contractors, this is a great way to avoid dealing with a contractor. You'll make less money, but your return on investment could actually be higher because you might make less money, but in a much shorter period of time. I used to love doing attic levels. I was a fanatic. I would buy a Cape Cod and knock it down to the studs, rip the roof off, do the second floor addition, right? But I would be there for 12 months, sometimes 16 months, sometimes 2 years. And I would have to deal with different contractors. I would get rid of one, fire the other one, hire another one, get rid of a sub contractor, get rid of this plumber, get rid of that electrician. And it was a headache for me. And at the end of the day, when I sold my property, I ended up making like $10,000 or $20,000 more, but the headache wasn't worth it for me. So I said to myself, why not wholesale, right? I want to make a little bit more money than if I were to wholesale, but I don't want to deal with the headaches of dealing with contractors and doing attic levels and staying there forever and doing permits and doing this and doing that. So why not introduce myself to this new world called wholesaling? And I did that 2 years ago. And I promise you, and I still fix and flip some properties, but I promise you, I'd rather do 100 hotel deals in a year than 10 fix and flips, even if it meant making the same exact money. It's just less of a hassle for me, less of a hassle for you. What's the definition? Some of you are like, what the hell is a hotel? I don't know what a hotel is. What hotel? I know what wholesale is, but what is a hotel, right? So definition, buying a home that doesn't quite need a lot of work, that can be cleaned up and sold to either an investor or retail buyer fairly quick. This type of home can be put on the MLS and can be financed, which is different than a wholesale deal where most of them cannot be financed unless you use hard money. And typically higher margins than a wholesale deal. And that's true. Now, I know there's a lot of wholesalers out there that are claiming they're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a wholesale deal. Good for you. But most wholesalers are working with tight margins and they're selling, they're wholesaling deals for $10,000, $15,000, right? That's it. And now you got to go look for another one and look for another one and look for another one. So for you to make $100,000 as a wholesaler, you have to wholesale about 6 deals. If you're, making $15,000. If you're only making $10,000 a pop, you're gonna have to wholesale 10 deals. I'm doing a wholesale right now. I'm gonna make $40,000 on my on my hotel. $40,000 on a hotel deal. All right. Why hotel? Because I'm sick and tired of contractors. And no offense to contractors out there, there are many good contractors out there. But guess what? We're in the business of making money. And unfortunately, I can't hire the really good ones because the really good contractors charge a lot. And they should, because they are a different breed. They are a special niche in this market. They're going to charge a lot, and they should charge a lot because they're providing a great service for retail clients. But for us investors, unfortunately, we have to hire guys that are going to be within our scope of work, within our budget. And and I know that sometimes that's not the best guy, right? And that you're going to have to deal with a lot of bullshit with that guy. But in order for that deal to make sense, you got to hire, Jose from the Ironbound of Newark, or Juan, or whoever it is that's going to charge you $30,000 versus, Carlos, who's going to charge you $60,000 because he's a great contractor and he believes in his product. He believes in his craftsmanship. So I don't want to deal with contractors anymore. Now, a hotel deal doesn't mean that you're not going to do some work. Sometimes the hardwood floors need to be done. But I'd rather deal with one person, one subcontractor, than having to deal with 7 people, or a contractor that takes your money and is dealing with 8 people, right? One person is better than 10. I'd rather deal with the hardwood company. If it needs to just be painted and I only need a painter, I'd rather deal with that painter. That's it, right? You're going to make more money. So let me explain to you. I'm doing that hotel deal that I told you that I'm making $40,000. It's closing next week already. All right. I bought it for $247. All I needed to do, it was a 3-bedroom ranch. All I needed to do was sand the floors and refinish it. And there was a 3rd bedroom that was being used as a den, which they took the door out, so it only has now an entryway. I got a framer to go in there, which took them only a day, frame it out, put a door, and that's it. That's it. There was 4 days worth of work, right? The framer was there one day for about 4 hours. And then the hardwood floor company was there sanding and then staining. And that's it. That's it. And I'm good. My net income on that property, my profit on that property is going to be $40,000. I could have added a level. I could have thrown, roof, spent $150,000 to $180,000, and I could have sold it for 5 and change. But I would have been there for the next 12 months. And again, see my hair? I don't got a lot of it. I'm losing it because I got 2 kids. But see this part right here? This part right here is actually because of contractors. That's why I lost all this right here. That's why I lost all of this here, because of contractors, right? And guess what? You can also pay more. You can pay more for a hotel deal. I typically would not purchase that property for $247 if I was doing an add-a-loan. But because I was wholesaling the deal and I was putting it back on the retail market on the MLS, I knew that I was going to get a retail client, a retail buyer that was going to pay me $30,000, $40,000 because of what's going on in this market, right? There's a huge demand on the market. So that's why it's important to have a what? Pulse. You got to have a pulse in this market. That's why it's important for you to work with a real estate agent like myself, because I have a pulse in this market. I know what different pockets sell for versus other pockets in a neighborhood. That's why. So now you can pay on a hotel deal, you can afford to pay more money, right, than another investor or a wholesaler. So you're going to get the deal. What seller's going to tell you, what seller's going to tell an investor no if you're paying them $30,000 more than the other guy who's going to try to wholesale that deal to an investor, because he needs to leave enough meat in the bone in order to make this deal work. So I came in there, I offered more money, and I'm going to make $40,000, and I'm happy with that. So I weed out a lot of wholesalers out there. I weed out a lot of my competition. So that's another great thing about wholesaling, right? I want you to change your mindset. I want you to stop thinking that you're leaving money on the table. And why would you think that? Because I was thinking like that. I was like, wait, I'm going to make $100,000 if I do an add-a-level on this property. If I wholesale this deal, I'm only going to make 45, 50. No, I'm losing 50. I'm losing 50,000. I can't do that. No, I had to reprogram my mind. Guys, reprogram yourself to think that making $50,000 within 2 to 3 months is actually more than making $100,000 in 12 to 16 months, because that $100,000 might not be guaranteed. We've been spoiled, right? We've been spoiled because the market's been doing what? This. It's been appreciating every year, right? Even during COVID, I thought it was going to go down. No, it's been going like this. It's been crazy, right? It's insanity. Insanity. But guess what? Markets could change in 12 months, right? Markets can change in 6 months. If you're on a property for 12 to 16 months, some 2 years, if you're doing like these luxury new construction, $2-3 million, it could easily take you 2 to 3 years to finish it. You can be left holding the bag. I've seen a lot of people, listen to me. I've seen a lot of people in 2007 think they were buying the best deal in the world, and they lost everything in 2008 because the market was changing so quickly. They weren't realizing, they weren't following the trend because they weren't working with real estate agents. They didn't have a pulse on the market, right? And a lot of investors don't. You think you do, but the real estate agent sees the changes in the market faster than you do, a lot faster, sometimes 2 to 3 months faster. So I'll give an example. I knew what we're going through right now was going to happen back in mid-April. And a lot of investors are letting deals go. No, I don't want to buy it. It's COVID. I'm not touching it. It's COVID. In April, my phone was ringing more than the end of March. And it kept ringing. It was buyers. And I'm like, I'm getting a lot of calls from buyers now. I was seeing the market change. right around mid-April, when most investors started to see that change at the end of May to the beginning of June. The realtor is your friend. Okay, that's why it's important, because I can save you a lot of money, or somebody like me can save you a lot of money. Somebody like me can make you or stop you from making a huge mistake, right? I can say, hey, John, don't buy that property. I'm seeing absorption rates in that town going up, 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 up. There's more supply, less demand. I'm not getting as many Zillow calls in that area. Don't buy it, right? You're going to be in there for 12 to 16 months. Don't do it. I love you as a friend and a client. You're going to lose money, man. I don't want to see you lose money, right? And that's what you have to do. You got to find an agent that's going to treat your money like their money, right? Because the longer you're in this business, the longer you're in this game, the longer my partnership is with you, the more money the two of us are going to make. And that's what it's about. It's about profitability. It's about, longevity, right? You can be in this business. Like I told you, I've been in this business since 2003, wearing different hats, but I'm going to be in here. I don't care if the market collapses in the next 2-3 years, and it might. Don't get too comfy. It might. I'm going to be in this market for the next 20, 30, 40 years, because remember what I told you in the beginning of this the beginning of this call? It doesn't matter what market we're in. It doesn't matter if it's a buyer's market, seller's market. There is an opportunity there for you all the time. There was an opportunity there for me in 2010 when everybody told me I was crazy for buying a house, a two-family for $75,000 that needed, I needed $60,000 worth of work, but they told me I was crazy. No, they were crazy. They were crazy. Why were they crazy? Because they don't follow trends like we do. They didn't see they didn't forecast 5 years out. And you as an investor, you need to forecast 1 year out, 2 years out, 5 years out, right? Especially the ones that are doing buy and holds. You have to understand when to get in, when to get out. It's all about timing. I got my house on the market right now. It's under contract, my own primary residence, because I know this is the peak of the market for me in my area. And even if it appreciates another 1%, that's great, but I'm out because I want to be as liquid as possible, because I want to be in the game for other buying opportunities out there, right? So that's why it's important. So look, start transitioning over to wholesaling, right? Even if you're wholesaling, go to, start transitioning over to wholesaling. There's a lot of hard money lenders out there that can be a great asset to you, where I know it's more expensive to use hard money, but that wholesale deal might make more sense for you, and you're going to make more money than wholesaling, right? It's a little bit more of a risk, but if you do your due diligence, that deal is going to make you money. Especially in this type of market where there's a lot of demand and very little supply, right? You're going to make more money. But start transitioning over from wholesaling to wholesaling, and start transitioning from fixing and flipping and out of levels and new construction over to wholesaling. I'm telling you, the market won't be the same in the next 2 to 3 years. It'll be a different market, and it might change even sooner. And again, I don't get into politics. I don't get into it. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't care about it. But we have a big election coming up in November, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you fall on, Republican or Democrat. If there's a shift in presidency, there could be a shift in the economy, which will then be a shift in the real estate markets, not for the better. So keep that in mind, right? You got to keep that in mind. All right. So I want to go back again, why use a real estate agent? Real estate agents out there are going to save you money. Also, in addition to saving you money, right? And I'll explain to you why they're going to save you money. Again, I told you before, they're going to stop you from doing certain things. But remember what I told you, lean on the real estate agent for market trends, for trends in terms of like what a property should look like, what buyers are looking for. I've seen a lot of builders, a lot of investors like yourself spend money on stuff that a buyer today is not going to appreciate. You have to spend money on what buyers want today, right? You have to. It's important, very important. I'm going to go back to my slide. Okay. And again, realtors are your friends for life. And I want to reiterate some of the stuff, right? You treat a real estate agent well, that real estate agent is going to give you more deals. Here's the biggest mistake that a lot of investors, especially new ones, or even investors that don't understand the business well, the business aspect of it, that are very short-sighted. Sorry. If a real estate agent gives you a deal where you're going to be profitable, don't be that guy or that girl that's going to be, that's going to put a for sale by owner once you have a finished product and you're like, well, the market's hot, I'm going to sell this for sale by owner. No, don't be that person. Do the right thing and give that real estate agent back the listing. Even if you say, hey, Mike, look, my margins are not that great here. Can we do a little bit better on the commission? I'd rather give you a reduced commission than seeing a for sale by owner sign outside, because guess what? I'll never, ever, ever give you another deal in your life. And in the long run, I'm not the one losing money. You're going to lose money, because I could have, within 5 years or 10 years, I could have given you 5, 10, 15, 20 deals, right? Most of us real estate agents, we only have 3 investors on our Rolodex that we want to deal with. Why? Because we know you're going to perform, right? We know you're easy to deal with and you listen, right? You got to listen, right? And we know you're going to give back the listing. You're going to give it back. I have an investor right now that sold their home for sale by owner. Not because they put it for sale by owner sign out there. Somebody walked in the middle of construction. They said, oh my God, I love this home. I love it. I love it. They called me up, right? They said, Mike, we have some bad news. They're like, somebody walked in the house. They made an offer at full ask. I'm sorry. We're not going to put it on the market, but we value your friendship and your partnership. We're going to pay you a commission, a smaller commission, but we're going to pay you, 1.5%. I just got paid 1.5% on a deal that's well over $1 million that I didn't do anything. I spent no marketing dollars. I didn't spend any gas. I didn't sit there for 2-3 months trying to sell it. I did nothing. That is the type of relationship and partnership that you want with your real estate agent, and vice versa, right? I'll give you an example. If I see that you're going to lose money on a deal, right? If I see that you're going to lose money on a deal and I got to cut my commission until you can break even or even make some money, I'll do it, because I value my relationship with you, because it's about partnership. It's about people before profits and not profits before people, right? You got to program yourself as either a new investor or a current investor. If you've done that, if you literally have, pissed off your real estate agent who worked hard to get you that deal, you want to make sure that you give them the deal back. If you got to change the terms, change it, but give it back to them. Make me feel part of that deal, right? Because I promise you, I'm never going to deal with you again, right? Because it's about principle. It's about ethics, right? And it's about not being short-sighted. It's about seeing the future, longevity. That's why it's important. All right, guys, I hope that I provided you with a lot of value. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But very important, again, use an investor-friendly real estate agent who has the experience of flipping, because that person is going to understand ARVs, return on investments. They're going to be able to calculate your carrying costs. They're going to advise you well. They're going to be a great partnership for you. That's who you should be working with. Don't hire a real estate agent or partner up with a real estate agent that's never done a deal, or that's never, when I say a deal, that's never done a fix and flip themselves, or wholesale deal or hotel. Don't, right? You want somebody that has the experience, right? And the knowledge. And knowledge only comes with experience. So that's why it's important. All right, I'm going to open it up to questioning. I don't know if Nick Tang was on or not. I see the comments. All right, so Doug Paul, I don't know if Doug is on. All about time leverage. Thanks, Mike, for great info. Doug, I appreciate you. Jimmy, so hotel is a fix and flip while buying it at wholesale price. No, Jimmy, so a hotel is not a fix and flip, right? It's not a fix. So when we talk about fix and flip, right, typically a fix and flip is a little bit more detailed in terms of repairs and construction. Hotel is something like the deal that I showed you at 175 Madison Avenue, where I can go different directions. I can do an attic level, I can spend $80,000, or I can clean it up, right? When I say clean it up is just a term that means just take everything out of there, paint, and do the hardwood floors, put it right back in the market. The kitchen's a little outdated. But the house, if it goes on the MLS, sorry guys, if the house goes on the MLS, it is financeable. Someone can get financing on that property. Can you text your contact info? Mickey, I'm going to mutilate your last name. Peroino. Yeah, if you want to, Mickey, look for me on Facebook, Michael Gomes. I could actually, let me see if I can send you my my info. All right, so for those who want my number, it's 201-757-4760. 201-757-4760. Jorge, George, what's up, bud? I appreciate you. Doug, I appreciate you. Good contractors is an oxymoron. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Good contractors is an oxymoron. Again, huge benefit of wholesaling is that you don't have to deal with contractors. Look, contractors right now, the good ones are busy. They are. So if a contractor is available right now to do your work and you never seen their work or you never dealt with them, chances are they're not a good contractor. All right. Linda, I'm an interior designer. Most of the realtors I have met are not investor friendly. That's right, Linda. They are not. There's a special breed of investor friendly realtors out there like myself. Find one that you like and hold them tight forever. Okay. My telephone number again, 201-757-4760. So Jimmy, going back to what I was saying, it's just a property that you can literally put it on the MLS and open it up to retail buyers, right? Retail buyers are going to give you more money than investor, correct? Absolutely. They're going to pay a lot more for a property, especially in this market where there's no inventory. They're going to pay a lot more for a property than an investor is, right? So clean it up. Right. Remember, not everybody in the world that's looking for a property needs new Faberwood kitchens or white shakers and new bathrooms. There are people that don't care about that stuff. There are people that want to be in a home. As long as the price is right, they'll do the work themselves. Within a couple of years, as long as it's a property. Being outdated and needing work is completely different, right? So a lot of times when you're wholesaling a property, you're wholesaling a property that's just outdated. That's all it is. A property that, if you fixed it up, could sell for a lot more, but you can make money now. If you can make $30,000, $40,000 on wholesaling a deal after carrying costs, after this, that, and the other, why not? After your capex, I forget who corrected me the other day, Jimmy. It might have been Jimmy or somebody else. Mickey, we'll be in touch. Yeah, shoot me a text so I can have it. Great insight on building a relationship with Realtor. It's about partnership and long-term win-win. Yes, it is absolutely about partnership. Don't be short-sighted, please. That is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of investors do. I can tell you right now, I've seen investors that are making an offer on a property, and that real estate agent got, excuse my language, but fucked by that investor. That investor stands no chance on getting that property. There is such a thing as the blacklist. It exists. The blacklist exists. Okay? Nadine, Mike, do you work with new investors? Nadine, yes. I actually have a Facebook group that's like a mentorship. It's called Power of Real Estate with Mike Gomes, Jimmy, and a couple other people. George are on that group as well. So if you're more than welcome to join, shoot me a text and I'll send you a link to it. Again, my number 201-757-4760. Let me see if there's any other questions. All right, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I don't know if you guys have any more questions. I don't know if you guys want me to juggle some balls. I don't know if Nick Tang wants me to be a circus clown or not. Nadine, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Can you add the link? I'm trying to. I don't know why I can't message on here. Hold on. Do you work in Somerset County? Absolutely. That's a great county. I live in Union County. I'm a hop and skip away. Bridgewater, Basking Ridge, Warren. I'm there all the time showing houses. Tom, Can you add the link? Unfortunately, I don't see where I can send you a message right now. So if you want, send me a text, 201-757-4760, and I will text you back. All right, Mrs. Phillips, so I don't mispronounce your first name. Okay, yes, I do. So if you want to call me regarding it, let's go. Found it, Mir. Found it, perfect. Okay. Who else? How about Essex County? Yes, Nadine, I do. I don't do a lot of work in Newark. I was actually born and raised in Newark. Love Newark. My parents still live in Newark. I'm not doing a lot of work there, but I do. You know, there are other parts of Essex County that I more focused on, or more hyper focused on. What area in Essex County are you focusing on, Nadine? Just shoot me a message on the group and let me know. Let me see. Anybody else? All right. Any more questions? All right. So pointers again, right? Work with an investor-friendly real estate agent. He or she is your friend. You're going to make a lot more money long run than in the short term. A lot more money. Build a partnership with that real estate agent so that you are the first person they call all the time when they have a deal. The real estate agent is not competing with you. Remember, I fix and flip, but I'm not competing with you. If there's a deal in Linden, I don't want it. If there's a deal in Newark, Nadine, I don't want it. If there's a deal in Berkeley Heights, I don't want it. I only deal in 2 towns. All right, so build a relationship with your real estate agent. Start transitioning over to wholesaling. If you are a wholesaler, make more money wholesaling. If you are a fix and flipper and you're doing out of levels, etc., start transitioning over your business a little bit because the market isn't going to be the same. Make as much as you can for the next couple of months to a year, right? It might shift, right? A lot sooner than what you think. Remember, a real estate agent will provide you with inventory. They are doing things behind the scenes that you do not know. Cold calling, door knocking, right? Checking the pre-foreclosure list. You'd be surprised how many real estate agents do a lot of the same things that investors are doing. Anybody else? Wholesalers that I meet are scary. Linda, yes. A lot of wholesale, again, not to offend my wholesaler friends, there are good ones out there like Fatina Johnson. Fatina's awesome. Joey Chan, Eric Justin, those guys, you know, they're fixing flippers, but they wholesale as well. Those guys are great. They know what they're doing. Jonathan Boyle, etc. You know, Hugo Alves, those guys are good. They know what they're doing. But there are a lot of wholesalers who don't know their ass from their elbow. They don't. They tell you a property is worth $450 after spending $30,000 and you can buy it for $200. Why are they not doing it? Right? Ask them, why wouldn't you buy it? You know, you can get a hard money loan. Yeah. Why wouldn't you die? You could JV the deal with somebody, right? Why not? And for a lot of wholesalers out there that want to start wholesaling, look, if you don't have the capital, JV the deal with somebody. You'll do the sweat, you know, you'll do the sweat type of work, and you know, maybe they'll put up the money, right? JV it. You know, take less of a percentage until you build enough capital where you can wholesale. What else? Say your phone number again. Yomari, 201-757-4760. That's 201-757-4760. You can send me a text. If I do not answer today, it's because I'm going to a pool party and I haven't been in the pool for a long time, and I'm going to be going in the pool while holding a bottle of nice red wine. All right. Things might get crazy today because my kids are going to stay home with my mother-in-law. Anybody else? Before I end this, how many of you, tell me what you guys are doing? Who's wholesaling? Who's never done a deal? Don't be afraid. Everybody's got a day one. I had a day one. You're going to have a day one. The biggest flipper in the world had a day one, right? Remember, that biggest flipper in the world in America, all right, at one point started with 0 and then did his first deal, and then his second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, etc. All right. So who has not done a deal yet? I'm still working. Jermaine, keep your head up, Jermaine. You're going to get your first deal. Jermaine, what are you doing? What are you doing to get your deals? Are you calling every real estate agent out there? Are you looking at the pre-foreclosure list, right? Sometimes get a real estate. Oh, this is a perfect one. Partner up with a real estate agent and schedule appointments. Hey, look, I got this seller. They want to sell, but they owe too much on a mortgage. This is a prime candidate for a short sale. I do short sales. I've done it all the time. I don't hire an outside company to do it where they're going to charge $5,000, $10,000. I don't. And there are good companies out there that do it, but I do everything in-house. There's less paperwork involved today than there was 7, 8 years ago. Short sales are a great way to purchase properties and make money. I have a lot of my best deals have been short sales. A lot of my best deals have been short sales. Wholesaler closing on one in North Plainfield. Awesome. If that deal falls apart for some reason, give me a call. North Plainfield is 10 minutes away from me. Sonia, congratulations, working on your first. Shoot me a text. I'll tell you what you need to do to get your first. I never done a deal focusing on wholesaling. All right, Nadine. But also remember, if the deal has a lot of skin in the game, perhaps you want to partner up with somebody like myself or somebody out there to wholesale the deal, or even fix and flip, but wholesale the deal. You'll make more money. Me, Lazaro. Awesome, Lazaro. I just lost my job and I'm ready to push my business 100%. You got to be on the phone. Look, there's a great wholesaler out there that I got a lot of respect that I followed, and I still follow, Max Maxwell out in North Carolina, right? If you hear his story, if you know who he is and you follow him, right? He was literally going broke, but he was living and breathing real estate, making 50 calls to 100 calls a day, driving for dollars. For those of you who do not know that, it's basically where you're driving around your neighborhood, where you're farming a specific neighborhood, and you're looking for distressed properties with high grass, properties with a lot of deferred maintenance, etc. And there's apps now, deal machine, where you could actually pull out your phone and within like 15 to 20 seconds, you take a picture and you send them a postcard and they get it. Or you knock on a door, reverse search their number and call them up and say, hey, what's going on? I noticed that your property, I noticed that or it seems like your property is vacant. You don't want to offend them. Seems like your property is vacant. I was wondering if you were interested in selling, right? And that's how the conversation starts. Or if it's not vacant, if the property's not vacant, knock on their door. I listen to Max all the time. Absolutely, Arthur. I've met Max, great guy. Arthur, shoot me a text. Let's get you in some revenue. We'll be in touch. I come across a lot of wholesale deals. Oh, you should be calling me then. All right, who else? Anybody else did not get my telephone number? If you didn't, I'm gonna give it to you one more time. I know I sound like a broken record. 201-757-4760. Mike, I'm an investor looking for properties in Middlesex and Monmouth counties. Do you have properties or work in these areas? I do, but you got to build a relationship, and this is where problems occur. You can't ask without proposing something. Let's propose something, right? What are you willing to do? What is your value proposition, right? I have a lot of investors like yourself on my Rolodex that I can call and sell a property within 30 seconds in Middlesex and Monmouth County. Monmouth County, by the way, probably the hottest market in New Jersey. I do not care what anybody says, all right? Remember, I'm a real estate agent, so I show a lot of properties. Marlboro, Morganville, Manalapan, Monroe, these properties are getting 15, 20 offers. That's how hot of a market that is. All right, so if you want to work with me, let's sit down and talk, right? It's got to be a two-way street. Jermaine, what is it? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What is what? Jermaine, what is what? I'll wait for Jermaine to elaborate a little bit. I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but you can't say, hey, you got any properties for me? I mean, you got to give some value prop here. Do I have properties? Yes, I absolutely have props. But, I'm a seasoned guy. Working on my first. And look, and work with somebody who's going to shoot from the hip. They're going to tell you straight up what it is, right? Not someone who's going to, sell you fluff. Wholesaler closing. Let me see what it is. What's your Instagram? What's Max's last name? Max's last name is Maxwell. Maxwell. Subscribe to his YouTube. What's your Instagram? Mike_A_Gomes. Gomes. Gomes. I'll connect with you. Great. What is your number? 201-757-4760. Perfect. Any more questions? I keep threatening that I'm going to leave, but I'm still on. All right, great. I will give you a call later. Awesome. All right, guys, look, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. All right. It's valuable to me, and I appreciate that. And thank you for giving me the platform to speak directly to you. Thank you very much to Nick Tang and his organization for putting an absolutely amazing event and for giving me the honor to speak in front of you guys. All right. Have an absolutely great Saturday and the rest of the weekend, and crush it out there. And I'm looking forward to connecting to some of you guys and building a relationship with you. Talk to you guys soon.